Mom needs a cloak. So I have an entire Pinterest board of fantasy clothes and little fantasy craft things that I want to make. A bag, clothing, armor. Bleh. Since about 2020, I have been making my own clothes with a sewing machine. And during that grandiose time called the pandemic, I developed a love for cottagecore, as mentioned previously. Fantasy core, medieval core. It's hard to come across anything like that online, so I've been making my own clothing. And yet, surprisingly, cloaks never came about my radar. I don't know. I thought they were quite impractical, because they didn't have sleeves or pockets. So it's like, where do you keep your stuff? In your arms. What has sparked this newly found love for clothes? I'll tell you what the thing is. Edinburgh. I will be going to Edinburgh soon. When I go places, I like to visit the historical places, locations like castles, manors, mostly castles. And so, I know that Edinburgh has a castle, which was also used as a location to film some of the Harry Potter films. I'm a bit of a Harry Potter fan. Take a guess at what house I am. Yes, it's obviously Hufflepuff. Look at me.
He needs some milk!
And we took the test recently and it said I was Gryffindor.
Ew!
I don't want to identify with you people. Alas, I still identify as Hufflepuff, but I subclass as Gryffindor.
Wow!
10 points is real Gryffindor. Anyway, there's this picture that I saved months ago of this beautiful, slivering ass looking coat. Found out it was AI art.
Brother, this guy stinks!
The more I looked at it then, the more I was like, oh. Yeah, some of this doesn't add up. And I've been dying to make it. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's whimsical. And then I realized how much time I had before leaving. The costs I have, the funds I have for fabric, and the difficulty of finding a sewing pattern. So I lowered my expectations, as we all do, and decided on a cloak. So no sleeves. As I was looking on YouTube for some beautiful cloak tutorials, I came across the most whimsical and adorable video of my entire life. No surprise here, the Rachel Maxky video, where she makes 2 cloaks. God, they look beautiful. I yearn to be a medieval woman with red hair. I don't. I want to. They all have red hair. Why do they all have red hair? And after seeing that, I was like, yep, I need a cloak. I need
some milk!
Cloak. Give me that cloak, which is kind of how I just live my day-by-day life as an ADHDer. Typically. And thus, I went on the hunt for some fabric. My plan was to aim for dark green to have backup colors just in case, because naturally I am quite limited with the fabric I can get, which I didn't want to do online because I don't know what it looks like when it's online. It's a little difficult, so I had to go in person. Locations, aim for charity shops. Naturally, disappointing, so I had to go to a fabric shop called Abercan. My backup colors were brown, and then if I couldn't find brown, dark grey. Your basic fantasy colors, let's be honest. In the midst of finding fabric, she found me. This beautiful fucking thing I found in a British Heart Foundation charity shop for, I think, a year old 15 fucking quid. Incredible. She does come out like most gays.
You what?
I love her, I'm obsessed with her. I've been needing storage for all my sewing bits and bobbies. Are we ready for the fabric? Here she is. I'll show a little closer video of the fabric, but God, she is beautiful.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, couldn't find a green wool. I was aiming for wool because, I mean, if I'm gonna make a cloak, I might as well make it wool. Was told it's partly wool, mixed wool, half wool. Don't care. I'm gonna call it wool. She's
Bombastic side-eye, criminal offensive.
Anyway, also got a liner. This beautiful brown. Tried looking for a cheap brown inner lining, not silky. I hate when they're silky. I hate when they're all shiny and silky. Sensor issue. Not for me. Sadly, it was less than what this is. 2.4 meters. 2.8. It's fine though, because I'm gonna have to be cutting off a wee bit for a hood and 2 capelets, because I want to make this design. I'll either buy the sewing pattern that Rachel bought, the Simplicity 516996 whatever, or I still have a hood and capelet pattern from when I cosplayed Marcel, which could work. I know I probably didn't need a liner, because this, she fit. Unlike my sweet cheeks, she fit. And thus, she's also ugly on the inside.
What the dog
It's giving
doing?
Naked Morat from Kim Possible. Dun, dun, dun. So I really want to go for that. She needs to be vamoosh, gone, no more. Because it's me, I have to make things a little more fucking complicated. So, here's the gist. It bothers me that these things don't come with pockets. So I potentially might add pockets. Also been considering adding a little bit of wire in the hood lining. That means that the hood can stay flat and not thick. Because usually I would add stuffing. I genuinely might just try and practice like that slow-mo run.
Why are you running?
Slap my head and just... The ideal is to make that type of cloak and have a specifically frolicking video of me in said cloak. Yes, the project comes with a task, an event, an activity. I can't just make the item, I must display the item in a specific manner. Because if I can't go LARPing, I'm gonna frolic in the fields. Time to get started. Floor gang. Are we on the floor? What are we doing on the floor? No. So, some pattern pieces for a hood and capelet. I'm thinking I want to try and save as much material as possible. Ironically, with the capelet, this is the piece I used that I cut out last time. It shows a line here in which I could probably cut that piece out to make it 2 pieces, which would be incredibly helpful. Why did I say it like that? I'm so sorry. So that I feel confident about. What about this? This is the back piece of the capelet. Yeah, see, another line, which I think I'm okay with, because I think I would enjoy seeing like a little seam there, so I think I will do that now. In case anyone wants to know, his name is Baker, like the profession, not the food. Baker is 2 years old. I named him that because my husband once did a little birthday one-shot for me, because I was new to D&D and I wanted to give it a go. I didn't have anyone to play with, so he just did a little single player campaign for me. It was very sweet. And I was in a village in the campaign, little one-shot. He gave me a little dog companion, so I had some help in a fight. And obviously I love dogs. And he was like, "You found a stray dog, what do you want to name it?" And I was in a village and I'd just gone to a bakery to buy food and stuff, because I very much enjoy collecting food in D&D. So I named him Baker. And that was before I got this precious little boy, but I knew from then on that my first ever dog would be named Baker. It's next day. I have cut out the pieces for the hood and 1 capelet. I'm gonna see how this first capelet looks and then decide how small to make the other one based on that. I'm gonna pin them together as I have done this hood. I think it's a decent size. One sec. Obviously it's looping as I wanted it not to do. This is the problem I want to solve, is all this floopy. I want it to be big and out. Essentially, I want it to look nice and shaped and rounded. So it complements my small head. From when I tried on Marcel's capelet, it fits around me nicely, but there's not a lot of waviness like how it is on the one Rachel made. So I potentially might have to add a few more little pieces just to give it a bit more length to start being a little bit wavy. Let's pin this together and see how it looks. Shouldn't take too long. So this is my pumpkin that I use as a pin cushion. It is a candle that I decided one day to start sticking pins in it because it was adorable. I've noticed that my pins are running out. I've not even... all I've pinned so far is this hood. I've not even used that many pins for the hood. And I'm already look like I'm about to have nothing for this capelet just to test it out. I've noticed though that my pins get all over the floor. And when they get on the floor, they get kicked about or swept up and sometimes thrown in the bin because they get swept up in all the mess. Which brings my pin collection down to a good little zilch, which is not good. So I need pins. I only just bought some recently. I swear. I'll either have to see if I have some more around, scrounge for some, like a dirty little goblin, little pin goblin. Goblin! Or I'll have to sew this so that I have some more pins. I have a magnet over here with some pins on it. And it's fucking... oh, that's not many pins. It's filthy. This is a little magnet strip my grandma gave me years ago when she let me borrow her sewing machine for the first time during the beginning of the pandemic. There is not many pins on this, but she shall do. That'll do. So as you can see, as nicely as I thought, I think I will make the other capelet a little shorter because I don't think I want it going past my elbow, but I would like it to be a bit more flowy. I'm thinking.
So by using triangles, the base will add more flow, while the top won't add any more length to where the hood needs to go.
Alright, I've pinned one half. I have so many pins as I've mentioned. Like maybe once or twice. With the added triangles, it's looking a lot better. A little more flowy here and there. It's definitely better than what it was before. That's what matters. So, onto the sewing. I didn't mean it, I swear. Oh, girl! So I finally got the try on, the first capelet I sewed, and she looks so fucking good.
I'm not fucking done, she fucking did.
Oh god, even just like that alone I think is really cool. I am going to just essentially get through the next capelet, pin those together, see how they look. I'm gonna see if I can make the capelet not attached to the cloak, because that thing on its own would be so cute. But if I just isolate my brain on the capelet and the hood and get those done, then it'd be a lot easier to start focusing on the cloak because of all the silly little things I want to do. I'm wondering if I want to add any details. Details. I don't think I've really discussed this. You know, like small details, like when people add lacing, frills, embroidery, subtle details, sea-tails, if you're nasty. If I have time, I might. I think what I can get done today is the second capelet, and I think I can get a good start on the lining for the hood. Cut to me having sewn the second capelet, comprised it all together, and I'll probably just show you that. Or like this. Phew.
And shall we see what TV show I am watching while crafting? It's Beastars. It's Beastars. I'm a fan. Anyway, the hood turned out pretty sick actually. It was a little difficult getting the wiring in. So there's a little mess around there, but other than that, it's holding its shape pretty damn well, if you ask me. I am desperately trying to not show you how dirty my kitchen is. I'm so sorry, how zoomed in this is. Look at it! Look at this Sherlock Holmes looking ass! Oh my god! Damn! It's coming along well, don't you think?
It's my little Russian lady. Please.
I am currently measuring where to add the pockets and trying to make sure it is as even as possible, which you may soon find out was useless because, well, you'll see. But I did my best. I've tried to make a classic pocket shape by tracing up, and then I gave up. I gave up and then went with squares instead of a classic circle shape for a pocket because the squares just felt a little bit easier. And here I am trying to salvage any scraps I could to line these pockets to make them look a little bit fancy, a little bit nice. I don't know about you, but I thought this turned out pretty fancy looking. This is before I sewed it, but I think it's really nice. You'll never see it, but I think it looks really dandy. I decided last minute to add a pocket for my phone, like you know those classic ones in the suit jackets that are up on the side, and I made it phone shaped, a little too phone shaped if you ask me. It was a little tight, but you look at that! Oh, isn't she cute? It was very handy, by the way. I quite enjoyed it. And now it's time to sew the entirety of the 2 panels of lining and cloak together. And oh no, I'm drowning in fabric. I'm drowning. Help! Help!
Alright, sluts. It's time. We are on about the last leg of this thing. I need to fix some of the inside, sew around the buttonholes so that it doesn't fray too. I need to hem the bottom of the cloak. I need to fix the hood. I put a bunch of holes in it so I could try and fit some wiring in. Alright, I'll do that. Ladies and gentlemen, or should I say, ladies and bros and non-binary hoes.
Hey, bitches and bros and non-binary hoes!
She has almost come to an end. I thought I'd be doing this for a lot longer. There is more I'd still like to do, but realistically, working with this brain that I have, there is only so much I can do before I lose that motivation. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. That's the Incredibles theme tune.
Huh? What?
I'm still working on my other project, the D&D room, but it's so hard to like find the time to go over to a completely different building and work on it. It's gonna take me a really long time to finish the room. Well, by the time you see me wearing it, I'll probably be done and it will be the reveal. Is this the end? Is this really goodbye?
Around me are familiar.
It is time for the reveal. It's conclusion time. Alright, peasant and folk. It's the end of the video where we discuss the pros and cons. What I liked and what I would have wished I did. Also, peep this mug we got from Edinburgh. Wow! Take a guess how much? £35. A steal in all her glory. Anyway, I got the cloak done pretty fast. I somewhat completed it in about 6 to 7 days, I think. So, pros? I love it. I mostly love the capelet on its own. I'm so glad I made it detachable. So I've made it so I can just wear the capelet without the entire cloak. And it is freaking adorable. Like, it's just so cute. She's gonna like add to so many like outfits in the future. Every time I think about it, it's like, I love it. I was happy that I was able to make it more flowy. That was nice. I'm glad I went with green ribbon as well. It adds a nice little bit of color. It was kind of nice to like wrap myself in it when it got cold, because trust me, it was like the average temperature when we went to Edinburgh was -1 to like 1 degrees. I think at some point it was like -3. So it got cold, and I had my nice cozy cloak. So I think I'm less likely to wear the entire cloak out because she's dramatic. But the capelet on its own, I think I'm likely to wear like just all the time. The inside pockets I wish I'd made the phone one bigger. The phone inside pocket I didn't make big enough. I used some scrap fabric for it. So it wasn't like I cut it out. So I was like, well, I can't possibly make it any bigger because I'm using this scrap piece. I definitely should have made it bigger. But the other pockets were like brilliant. Big enough, not too awkward, pretty handy, just what I needed. So that's fantabby-dozy. Cons, from the footage I've watched, the cloak isn't super flowy because obviously I had a very limited fabric. So the flowage wasn't flowing, it was a little stiff, I think I had to really like go for it to get a bit of flowage out of it. So I think I would have loved a bit more flowage. The inner lining fabric didn't line up very well. The lining didn't line. It has one job. It wasn't doing it. The sizes, the measurements, because, oh, lordy, I was struggling to hem that for just hours. It was my 13th reason for a hot moment. Great googly tip. You wouldn't think it'd be hard. Just sewing 2 rectangles together. I made an entire capelet and altered it and and the 2 rectangles was where I reached my limit, apparently. Also, because I didn't figure out the measurement properly of the inner lining, I added pockets to the lining, and then I had to get rid of some fabric. So the pockets don't line up technically on the inside. No one's gonna know that, but I'm just letting you know, because I can, that the pockets don't line up. There's a pocket that rests behind my back, and then one that rests like perfectly where it should be. So that's kind of funny, because I didn't realize that was gonna happen. There's not much I could have done about that. Like I literally, there was no more fabric available, and it was the only one I loved. Sometimes little mistakes happen, and I wasn't following any tutorial. And again, it was 2 rectangles. There's no tutorial for just putting 2 rectangles together. I just don goofed it. Up, and that's okay. One of the other things I just cut from the video is I wanted to add holes. My arms come out, and I bought 2 zips and everything, and I was going to do it, and I didn't think it was going to be that much of a hassle. But by the time I got to that point, I like mentally checked out and was like, I'm done. I've done everything. And then I was like, oh, the zips. I don't think I'm ever gonna go back and do that. So now I just have some nice spare brown zips. Yay! I can absolutely see myself making more cloaks in the future. Ones that are a little more thin and definitely more flowy. I think I'd like it to be green. Ah, I love being whimsical. I hope you enjoyed this video if you've gotten this far. It would be very nice if you have. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. So you might have seen that I just stabbed myself with a pin.
I've been recording for like 20 seconds. That was good.